In the last episode, we established that repeatable execution creates stability, but stability alone only repeats yesterday's results. To improve, execution must generate learning, not just output. That learning comes from feedback. Feedback lets a system evolve instead of running on autopilot. Without feedback, execution becomes efficient but stagnant, producing the same outcomes even as conditions shift over time. Execution without feedback forms a closed loop. You act, you get a result, and you move on. Feedback opens the loop by capturing what the result is telling you. Outcomes become signals, not endpoints. When feedback exists, you can adjust inputs, timing, and standards deliberately. Without feedback, you keep spending effort on steps that no longer move the needle for you. Most people sense feedback informally through friction, delays, confusion, rework, or low energy. The problem is that those signals stay emotional and inconsistent. They depend on memory and mood. A feedback system turns those signals into written notes, captured the same way every cycle. Structure converts experience into data you can review and use later. It stays objective. A feedback system starts with one disciplined question asked after execution finishes. What should change next time? Asking it sometimes creates random insights. Asking it every time creates patterns. Patterns reveal leverage points inside your process. The goal is not long reflection. The goal is consistent capture, so small signals accumulate into clear direction that you can trust over time. Feedback is not self-criticism. It is a navigation tool. Its purpose is to expose friction inside the system, wasted motion, unclear steps, weak handoffs, or unnecessary complexity. When friction is visible, improvement becomes obvious. Without feedback, you respond by pushing harder. With feedback, you improve the process, reducing effort while increasing results. It stays measurable. Keep feedback simple, or it will not survive busy weeks. Do not measure everything. Measure a few repeatable indicators and capture a short note. If the system is heavy, you will skip it. A lightweight feedback ritual protects learning when attention is limited. Consistency matters more than sophistication at this stage. Because repetition reveals the truth, you keep it consistently. Feedback works best when it is tied directly to execution cycles. Each cycle produces output, and each output produces information. Capture feedback immediately while context is fresh. Delayed feedback becomes storytelling, not truth. Immediate capture preserves details and makes improvement grounded in reality. That is how systems learn quickly instead of drifting slowly in the background. This is where accuracy beats motivation every single time. Once captured, feedback must be stored in one place. Storage turns insight into an asset. When feedback stays in your head, it disappears under pressure. When written down, it compounds. Over time, you can see patterns across cycles, where delays happen, where quality drops, and where energy drains. Those patterns guide targeted improvements without guesswork. You stop guessing and start improving with evidence. Feedback transforms execution from a fixed routine into an adaptive system. Instead of repeating steps forever, the process evolves. Small adjustments compound because they apply to every future run. This is why systems outperform raw work ethic over time. Learning compounds faster than labor. Feedback is the mechanism that turns effort into durable improvement. Cycle after cycle, it compounds consistently. Feedback also protects you from false confidence. When results seem acceptable, it is easy to assume the system is optimal. A feedback habit challenges that assumption. It reveals hidden waste and missed opportunities before they become big problems. Continuous improvement requires continuous observation, even when things feel stable and under control in the moment. It forces you to see waste before it becomes normal. With feedback, effort moves upstream. Instead of working harder inside execution, you invest effort into improving the process itself. One improvement affects every future cycle. That changes the economics of work. A single hour spent refining the system can save many hours later. Effort becomes leverage instead of recurring cost, and that leverage accumulates quietly. That is how you buy back time without losing output. Feedback reduces emotional attachment to outcomes. When results are treated as information, failure becomes a signal and success becomes data. This emotional neutrality produces better decisions. Calm analysis replaces reaction and ego defense. Systems improve fastest when emotions are separated from interpretation. So learning stays consistent regardless of mood or pressure when results feel personal. This keeps you objective when results trigger ego or fear. Over time, feedback builds confidence, not by guaranteeing success, but by increasing adaptability. When you know the system will learn from mistakes, experimentation becomes safer. You can test new inputs without risking collapse. Feedback absorbs uncertainty by converting it into information, allowing progress without reckless swings or panic resets, because each attempt teaches. It teaches consistently. This is where sustainable growth begins. Execution provides consistency. Feedback provides direction. Together, they create momentum. Momentum feels calm because improvement happens with each cycle. The system improves as it operates. That differs from effort-driven growth, which requires constant pressure and urgency just to maintain output week after week, even when you are tired. It reduces stress because the process keeps learning quietly. You do not need technology to begin. You need discipline. One question, one capture method, and one review cadence. Complexity can come later. What matters now is reliability. When feedback is captured consistently, even simple notes produce clarity. Clarity prevents scattered effort and unlocks intelligent scaling decisions. Because you know what to fix and what to ignore. It keeps focus. As feedback accumulates, priorities become obvious. You stop guessing what to fix next. Bottlenecks reveal themselves. Waste becomes visible. Improvements stop being random. This precision reduces burnout because effort is applied where it matters most. Instead of chasing every possible upgrade, you focus on the few changes that improve outcomes consistently, and you keep the rest stable. This is how you scale without multiplying chaos. Eventually, feedback allows the system to guide decisions automatically. Past patterns inform present choices. Hesitation decreases. Overthinking fades. Confidence grows because actions are grounded in evidence. At that stage, output becomes less dependent on motivation. Systems keep moving even when energy is low, which is the foundation of scalable income that does not collapse under pressure. You become consistent because decisions stop draining you. Next, we will connect feedback to distribution and growth. Execution produces results. Feedback improves execution. Distribution multiplies impact. When these layers align, income systems become self-reinforcing. Effort still matters, but it is finally applied where returns are highest. That is how repetition turns into momentum that compounds over time, and why structure eventually beats hustle. That is the path from effort to systems-driven compounding.